What's up, everybody? ArvinPoole, the Perry Hacker. Hey, I just want to talk briefly about landing pages, everybody. April, what's going on, sis? How are you, love? How are you? How are you, Bootlums? Everyone, get in here, share with your followers, share with your Twitter people. I am getting ready to talk a little bit about landing pages and sort of what I will be focusing on next week. And exactly 8 days I'll be on stage at the PerryCon event. Everyone talking about landing pages. What's up, Lamb? How are you, sir? Booker, what's up, Irv? How are you? Pookie, what's going on? How are you? Moshe, Amzel, what's up? April, you missed my first scope. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, man. I missed a lot of people's first scopes, but I'll go back and watch that replay. Andrea, what's up? Yeah, you come in Thursday. I can't wait. So everyone, invite your followers real quick. I plan to take you through a quick primer. When I say quick, it's going to be quick. So get ready to take some notes. I want to dispel the myth of what landing pages are, everyone. I mean, I'm having this conversation every single day. It has been an exciting journey to share, my experience around landing pages and what they truly are and how they are being used. What's going on, Pam? How are you? Get site. You sent out such energy. Yes, absolutely. Amaka, is that Amakia, first time greetings. Where are you from? You can get my first scope, but my 100th will be in the next day or two. Good. Awesome. Such energy. Wonderful. All right, Angel, what's going on? Mary Joy, what's going on? Renee's in the house. Everybody share this with your followers. If you don't mind, go ahead and share with your followers, share on Twitter, share on Facebook, because what I'm planning to share with you is part of what I'm teaching in my WordPress bootcamp, everyone. I kicked off on Monday. And so I'll be talking about landing pages, sales pages, email marketing, automation, all those things that are necessary for you to have a fully automated business. And although they haven't received the content yet for the first course, for the first class, they haven't received the landing page. What I want to do is talk about this because it is actually perfect timing as we get into next week for PerryCon, which I will be on stage or in a workshop talking about it. Can't log into my WordPress, Mary Joy. Oh my gosh. All right, we'll have to talk offline. Yeah. Jason, my man, what's up, Hack Brother? How are you, sir? My man in the house. How much does it cost for the course? The course is only $297. It's a 6-week WordPress bootcamp, and it focuses on taking your website from zero to a built website that allows you to have a fully automated system, so you can have people coming to your site. I'll talk about getting traffic to your website on the last week of the course. And the week before that, we talk about landing pages, opt-ins. We talk about, opt-in forms, sales pages. Now, all of this, it's not going to be built unless you want it to be built, right? Because I'm not the designer or the developer. I'm the teacher. I'm the coach. But the class is available for you to sign up. This is the very first week. It's the second day. I have more video to push out this week. And then every week thereafter, there would be multiple videos that will be dripped to those people, okay? So let's get right into the content, everybody, okay? And what I want to focus on, everyone. Hey, what's going on? Nails by Carnita. What's going on? Dara Mac, my man, how are you? So let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and get your notes out, because what I want to do is talk about what landing pages are and what they are not, okay? Really simple, everyone. A landing page is nothing more. What's up, Rashana? How are you? A landing page, everyone, is nothing more than a page that people come to from somewhere else outside of your website. Do you understand what that is? A landing page, everyone, is a page that someone lands on from a page outside of your own website. If you can visualize that, your website, if you're on your website, right, and you were landed onto a website or somebody's website outside of your website, that's a landing page. Now, let's talk about what the different types of landing pages there are, okay? All of your inner pages and all of your home page is considered a landing page, right? Just because it doesn't have a necessary form on it, it's still a landing page. But an effective landing page, everyone, has at least one call to action. In fact, an effective landing page only has one call to action, okay? So a landing page itself can be one of the three, okay? There's actually multiple landing pages. There are 4 different landing pages. Yep, one call to action. The very first landing page, put in the number 1 if you're ready. If you're ready for number 1, we'll talk about each one of these in a very brief overview of each one. I won't go into a lot of details. You got to come to PerryCon for that or sign up for my WordPress bootcamp for that. There we go. The very first landing page, everyone, that most people are familiar with is called a lead generation page. Type in number 1, lead generation. Lead generation, and for short, we call it lead gen, Leadgen. Yep, a lead generation page, okay? A lead generation page, everyone, is nothing more than an email sign up. It's a means of capturing someone's email address, all right? Now, there are different mechanics to a lead generation page. It could actually be a button without a form on the landing page. When you click on the button, it actually takes you to a different landing page. Right, exactly. It's a generation lead page, right? And it can also be the form itself. The form itself can be embedded into your landing page where people don't have to click the button and then go to a separate page. So the mechanics of a landing page, everyone, is to keep it as simple as possible for those who land on your page, not having them to fill out a bunch of information. So minimizing the number of labels that you have. The number of fields needs to be kept to at least an email and the name. The days are long gone, everyone, where you have these 10 fields in your form, because here are the things that's going to happen. The more fields that you have, the less people are going to sign up. Just bottom line. That's just straight economics and statistics, okay? So I try at a minimum have an email form or email label and also your name. And the reason why I like to collect the first name, can anyone tell me why we want the first name of our lead generation form? Can anyone type that in? It is a very simple concept, and I talked about this in my last scope on landing pages. What is the number 1 reason to use for email mailings? Yes, but be more specific. Yes, there it is. It's called merge fields. It's called merge fields. It's to personalize the email, right? So if you have someone's first name, you can actually merge their first name into your email, and it makes it more personable. So yeah, it makes them unique. And so that is the beauty of what a merge field allows you to do. You can also after you get their first name, there it is. Someone just put in those little tags, right? We call them tags. We call them field tags or merge tags, all right, or merge fields. So in your lead generation page, everyone, at a minimum, by default, most email providers such as MailChimp, Aweber, MailerLite, MadMimi, Entreport, Aweber, Infusionsoft, Constant Contact, all of these different email providers, everyone, typically provide, the email is the required field that's always going to be on the landing page. And anything that you add thereafter is optional or required. Now, if we want to make sure that people fill out the form beyond their email, which would you do? Would you make that a required field, or would you make it an optional field? And what order would you put it in? Would you put in name first, then email, or email, then first name? Which would you do? I'm just trying to understand your thinking of how you design your forms, because this is very important, how you design your forms. Name, email. So Daryl, give me the reason why you do name first and then email. Why do you do name first, then email? Hey, what's up, Jason? Name, email. That's how we normally see it, right? We normally see name and email. And there's a strategy behind why you put name first and email second. It makes logical sense, right? But will that name field be required, or should it be optional if it's first? This is a great quiz for you all, okay? It's a great quiz because, right, exactly. Anytime you put anything before your email, you always make it a required field, okay? You make it a required field because if it's first, your email is always going to be required, okay? Otherwise, there's no purpose of having a lead gen form, right? So if your name is first, you want to make sure that the name field is required and not optional. Otherwise, they may skip the whole thing, and it just doesn't logically make sense to have your first field as optional, okay? And there's some psychological effect to it as well. When you have your first field as required, then in their mind, okay, the next field is required, right? And so this is the whole point of having your name first and making sure it is required. You need the name for confirmation, and email doesn't give enough information. But it's not required, really, Jason. So what I'm talking about is you making it a requirement versus optional, right? So you can have a field, and there are many times where you have only an email address, and that would be in places where you're not trying to get a real call to action. They're in very subtle places, such as your header. You may have just an email, like enter your email for a sweepstakes or something like that. It's in a very passive location. In your footer, you may just have an email. You're not going to have a full form in some of your smaller spaces, so you're basically using what they call a streamlined form where you only have the email. So there are times where you only have the email, but on a landing page itself, you want to make sure that you at least have the first name and your email, okay? Now, when is it, here's another question for everyone, before we move on to the second type of landing page. When is it appropriate to ask for more information than your name and your email? When is it appropriate to ask for more information than the name and the email, such as your phone number, your address? When is it appropriate to do that? Can you generate leads without? Yes, you can. Absolutely. All day, every day. In fact, most forums do not have a freemium, okay? But you basically asked the question that answered my question. When is it appropriate to ask for more information? When is it from a email marketing etiquette, when you're mailing them a free book or option? When you are actually giving something away, if you are giving something away, it is especially of value, it is always a great idea to ask for more information, because they're more willing to give if you're more willing to give to them, okay? But to ask them for more information without giving any sort of freemium or any sort of like download this PDF document, this free report, at that point, everyone, I think what you're doing is being snobbish, and you're being very conceited about what you think that user. You're going to lose a lot of people, okay? He just didn't see your question. Yeah, I didn't see the question, Daryl Mack. I did not see the question. So, Daryl, go ahead and drop your question again, and I'll answer it for you, okay? I missed it. He asked it twice. Deidre, yeah, sometimes I will miss them 6 times if I'm really in my zone. So, yeah, it was the same one I asked. Okay, I just missed it. I was in my zone trying to explain the form, so I didn't read the question. So go ahead and re-ask your question, Daryl and Deidre. I will go ahead and stop right here and pause and wait till you ask your question, okay? And it's all good if I miss a question. Most scopers don't get them all right, and so I'll do my best to answer them. How do you get generation leads when you don't have a free giveaway? Okay, so here's how I choose to get leads, okay? One way of getting leads without a freemium, in which freemiums really just help to increase the number of people that may sign up for your free or for your email list. But the way I look at it, everyone, if your website has rich content, if your website is a blog, if your website is you're giving, right, great valuable content, then there's really no need to give away anything, because what you do is you're inviting them to get access to more of your information. And you're already giving away content. You don't have to give away an additional document, right? To do an additional freemium, they're going to sign up if the content is great. Exactly. Got this lead via Periscope, started following you since watching your scopes. That's a lead right there, right? And so at the end of the scope, I will point you to my website, right? And so by giving great content, whether it's on your website or somewhere else, you always can lead people to your website to sign up. If they feel like the content that you are providing on a consistent basis is of extreme value, then guess what? People are going to make that decision to join your email list. You can't force them, right? And sometimes I think freemiums sort of puts on this false notion that, you know, my content is going to be great. Your content actually may suck, but that freemium may be something that they want, right? And they're not signing up because your content is great. They're signing up because they're getting some free report. And people sign up for emails for different reasons. Sometimes they're not signing it up because they want your information. Sometimes they're signing up because they're trying to understand what your email funnel is all about. They're just trying to, a lot of marketers do that. We sign up on a lot of different email lists because we're trying to understand somebody's funnel, their email flow. And then after, you know, they get so many emails, they go ahead and unsubscribe. They have what they need, right? And so I get that all the time. I know exactly when someone is signing up from a marketing standpoint versus being truly authentic. And that's why I don't do a lot of different free reports unless it's really related to the content that I'm talking about, okay? So a great example of having a freemium is directly on your blog. Directly on your blog. So you can have a blog page, right? And you're talking 2 to 3 paragraphs about a particular content. So Andrea, I'm not sure if you're in here, she is an IP attorney. She can give us a overview of what the trademark process is, right? And so going through that process, you know, she may stop at paragraph 2 and say, hey, to get more insight and more information around trademark and process, you know, getting your trademark done, sign up to my email. And at that point, you're going to sign up because she's already captured your attention to read the blog. So those are great insertion points of having your email sign-ups or your forms, okay? Now, that's number 1. Number 2, if you're ready for the second type of landing page, put in the number 2. If you're ready for the second type of landing page, put in number 2. Put in number 2, and we'll go ahead and get started on the second one, all right? All right, the second landing page, everyone, is a squeeze page. We call them squeeze pages for a reason, okay? And a squeeze page is typically, it's a hyper lead page. It's an active lead page. So it's a lead or an active lead generation page. It's a moving page, right? A squeeze page typically is that page that pops up. It comes down from your screen. It comes over this way. It comes up from the bottom. It comes over this way. And guess what? They call it a squeeze page, everyone's, because you are squeezed into watching or reading that page before you can move on to the next content. That is a great way of getting people's direct attention when they're starting to read something. And you'll notice you may scroll down maybe 50% of the way on a page, and guess what happens after you scroll 50%? This squeeze page pops up. That is called, people like to call them pop-up pages, but it's really more than a pop-up page. Pop-up is one type of squeeze page. Another type of squeeze page could be just, it doesn't pop up, right? It just appear, right? Or it may scroll down. So when I think of pop-up, I'm thinking about something that's very like, it just, boom, it just hits you in the face and like, wow, I was in the middle of reading this article and you just basically distracted my flow. That is where pop-ups came from. But there is more psychological effects around what we call pop-ups and squeeze pages that as a marketer, you have to know when to use them, okay? So when you first get on somebody's website, and the minute that you see is a pop-up page before you allow them to read your page, well, guess what? That's not effective pop-up strategy. What you need to do is give people time, right? And so there are even more advanced features and functionality of the plugin that I'm using. The plugin that I'm using, everyone, is not based on just time. It's based on 2 other factors. It's based on not only time, but it's based on when they scroll. So if they're scrolling, that means they're skimming the page. And when they get about 50% of the way of my content, right, then not only 50%, But if they are a new visitor, that is the only time they're going to get a pop-up from some of my pages, right? If they are a return visitor, right, and their IP address is still cached, my system will recognize that they are coming back as a return visitor, and they will never ever see a pop-up for another 90 days. Is it Bloom or some other plugin? I am using Thrive Leads, Thrive Leads, Thrive Leads, okay? And so these are some advanced techniques around forms so that you don't overbear the people that are coming to your page every single time. You're going to run away the people that are actually what I consider your loyal readers. So if you have a blog, everyone, you want to be very cautious and careful of how much pop-ups come up on their page, on the pages that you're sending to your visitors, okay? All right, and number three, everyone. Number three, and there's all sorts of squeeze pages, everyone. There's all sorts of ways you can design a squeeze page. Number three, if you're ready for the third type of landing page, put in the number 3. Put in the number 3 if you're ready for the third landing page. And I think everyone should probably know what this page is. You probably know what this page is, all right? All right? So let's talk about the third page. The third landing page, and there are two types of these pages, is sales page. It's called a sales page, S-A-L-E-S. That's it. It's a sales page, all right? The difference, everyone, between a lead generation page and a sales page is really one thing, all right? The call to action now changes from what we call low risk to high risk. We're trying to sell a product. That is our only objective of a sales page. It is not to get them to sign up for an email. It's definitely not to get them to read more of your, cool stuff that you have on your website. That sales page is so focused on getting them to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to purchase and convert that person into a customer. That is it. If you have any other objective on your sales page, you're doing too much, okay? We try our best to make our pages look so pretty, but we forget about the substance of the page should be to tell a story, to actually, donate, sell. This is a product that I am pushing. So there is a process and flow that you go through in order to get to that point, right? You're building up momentum throughout that process. And I talked about these 4 letters, everybody. I talked about AIDA. Write this out, A-I-D-A. Who remembers that scope I did on AIDA? Who remembers the scope that I did on AIDA? AIDA is a acronym that stands for the 4 sections of a sales page, everyone, and typically what we call a long form sales page. There are 2 types of sales pages, a short form and a long form, okay? A short form will still have AIDA, and I'll go over that in a second, but it may not have every last one of the components that I'll talk about, right? So without getting into each one of these sections, I'll give you at least what AIDA is, okay? The first A, everyone, is attention. Attention. We want to get their attention with a attention grabbing headline, okay? We want to make sure we're getting their attention, right? I, everyone, is for influence. I is for influence. We want to influence them, right? We want to insert influence so that we understand that our storytelling, that is our influence, right? I mean, our way of saying, okay, now that I have your attention, now let's give you more insight. Let's give you more insight, right? And then D, who remembers what D is, everyone? Who remembers what D is in AIDA? If you were on this is a quiz. If you remember what D is, tell me what D is. Remember what AIDA is, AIDA? Who remembers what D is? Anybody remember? No one. It's quiet. Influence, direction. Is it direction? Is it direction? Is it direction? What is AIDA, everyone? I gave you 2 of them. What is the other? Decision. That's it. Right. That's it. So I'm actually going back because there are some other names that they attach to D, and so D is very important, everyone. So it's not decision. I'm sorry. Sometimes it is decision, making a decision, but there are others. Desire, right? It's desire. But decision is also one of the ones that people replace, right? So it's attention, it's your attention, getting your interest, and it's desire. I want to actually have the desire. But I am also at that point making a decision to move forward. And so whoever said decision, sometimes it can be decision, but it's more so desire. Exactly. So the reason I stopped on D, everyone, this is sort of where if you get A, I, and D, if you nail that, then the last A, everyone, should be a slam dunk, all right? I always want to say D is for dunk, right? Because your A is action. Your A is action, is asking for the sale. Yep, that's 2 A's. A for ask, A for action. D can be decision, and it can be desire. I can actually be also interest and intent. And A is always going to be attention, the first A, right? So the first one is attention, I is interest, D is desire, and the last A is action. So that's your ADA. Those four sections will always, without a doubt, without one doubt, will be on a sales page. An effective sales page will always have those 4 sections, all right? Now, what goes in each one of those sections determines whether it's a short, medium, or long. We never use the word medium. It's either short or long, right? And so a long form, everyone, a long form will have different elements under each one of those AIDA, all right? And I won't go through all of those today, okay? I went through that in a scope. But if you have all of the elements, it's typically going to be a long form, right? It's up to like 8 elements, right? But if you have maybe 5 of those elements, 4, maybe you don't want to go less than 4 of those elements. You always want to make sure you have the call to action at the end. You definitely want to have an intention grabbing headline, but in between you may actually have duplicate calls to action. You may have duplicate testimonials, which will go under your desire. I think testimonials go under desire, right? Yep, testimonials go under desire. And so you may have multiple places sprinkled throughout the sales form with testimonials. You may have FAQ. You may have, you may have a product feature set that puts a little bit more focus on how it benefits someone based on a pain point, right? And so each of these sections can be replicated or duplicated, which makes it a longer sales form, okay? And then everyone, the sales page that I typically like to design for people that are in information business or they are a coach or they are a an author, right? We typically don't get into really long sales forms. What we're trying to do is educate. So we're educators. We're giving a lot of information, right? We give a lot of information. So you may have multiple landing pages, which is a lead gen, right? This is the flow that I typically try to educate people who are brand new to their business online, okay? Give a couple of landing pages, everyone, that is all about giving. So it's not necessarily giving away freebie stuff, but educating your audience through scopes, through through your Twitter timeline, putting out different tweets on different tidbits and hints and tips. Your Facebook groups is a great way to do lead capturing, all right? And what you're doing is I call it the 1, 2, 3, and then knock them out. Who is that? Gary Vaynerchuk? What is it? Jab, 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 uppercut. I can't remember what his thing is, but that's what you're doing with your landing pages, everyone. You are nurturing them throughout the process, and then you link them to a sales page from your email. Does that make sense? You nurture them through your landing page, get them in very targeted email lists, and then as you educate them, then you funnel them to a sales page, right? That is how you control your nurturing process within your own email system. Now, you can also go outside of your email system and use Facebook ads, you can use Twitter ads, you can use Instagram ads, you can use your blog. And now what you're doing, when you're sending people that are cold leads, but they are being targeted based on a certain profile of the people that you're looking to target. So if you go into Facebook ads and you create this nice Facebook ad and it has all of the parameters of the people that you're looking to target, you send them directly to your sales page. You know why? It's because you're going to take them through that long form and either they're going to buy it or not, all right? The percentage is typically between 1 and 3% of the people that come to your landing page will take action, all right? But that's after you have made sure that the people that you are addressing is a targeted audience, all right? So I have a meeting in 10 minutes, so I need to wrap up. Now, number 4, the last type of landing page. Put in the number 4. Is Periscope your primary lead generator? No, it is not actually. I do not get most of my leads from Periscope. I get a lot of my leads actually through other websites. I do a lot of posts. I do blog posts for other sites or contribute content to other sites. My speaking engagements, most of the people that sign up are people that I have met face-to-face throughout my engagements. But I do get a lot of people on Periscope. But now I'm starting to get a lot more people outside of Periscope, particularly on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I get a lot of people on LinkedIn. I have a lot of other sources that I use, like Quora, Quora is another site that I use to capture leads. Anytime that I am teaching or coaching, I definitely get leads there. So my own customers are leads, right? So number 4, if you're ready for number 4, this is the last one, then I got to wrap up, everyone. I am using GetResponse for my landing page and getdpd.com for opt-in. Is there an easier way? You know what? I don't know much about GetResponse. GetDPD, I think that is is that the product, the digital product? Is that the digital product page or the digital product software? It is. Okay, got it. I've never used either one of them. I know a lot of people that use them. The first person that I remember using it was Scopra. I know she uses, I think she used both of those. I'm not sure about GetResponse. I know she uses the DPD. I've never used DPD. I use WooCommerce and I also use Amazon S3. So I store all of my digital products encrypted behind, HTTPS, all on Amazon S3. Anything that I sell goes to my Amazon S3. Anything that's a freebie goes on my WordPress. All right. That way I'm not paying anyone to host those for me. All right. Number 4, everybody. If you're ready for number 4, put in the number 4. If you're ready for number 4, put in the number 4. And this is the last type of landing page. Yep, that's it, Dion. Thank you, Pookie. I appreciate you. Everyone, number 4 is kind of a one-size-fits-all, all right? Your landing page, and this may be very, very sinister of me, right? But a landing page is any kind of web page. Doesn't make sense, right? It is any kind of web page. Your landing page technically doesn't have to have anything on it but content. It doesn't have to have anything on it, to be honest with you. It's any kind of web page that you can actually land on. And I alluded to that at the beginning, right? So Google technically, if you are using Google Analytics, they do not determine a landing page based on whether you have a call to action, whether it is a marketing form, a squeeze page, a sales page, or a lead generation page. It is any page that someone can actually go to. How they get there is your job, right? That is your job. Google has nothing at all to do with that. So technically, everyone, any page that has a presence on the web is a landing page, right? How you get there is how it's defined, okay? And then what you do with that page creates more of what we call an effective landing page, a sales page, opt-in page, or squeeze page. So the reason why I wanted to add number 4 as any kind of page, because I think a lot of people, when they hear the word landing page, they automatically assume that it has to be a page with a form, and that is not the case. There are many types of landing pages that are non-marketing related, but in terms of what we do on Periscope, obviously what I want to focus on is the marketing side of what a landing page is, okay? So everyone, that concludes my scope, and I have just shared with you what a landing page is, the 4 different types of landing pages, right? And then how each one is actually used. I speak on landing pages all day, every day as part of my WordPress boot camp, everyone. If you're interested in the boot camp that I'm putting on right now, you can actually go to arvin.live, arvin.live. If you go to my website at arvin.live, the WordPress bootcamp, everyone, is only $297. It is a 6-week course that takes you from setting up your hosting, your domain. Ethan, what's up, brother? How are you? Setting up your email, your domain, your hosting, how to install WordPress, whether you do it through your hosting or you do it natively on your website. I talk a lot about, themes, which plugins are the most important plugins to have on your website. We talk about how to take a theme and customize it. Then we talk about how to use certain theme attributes to give you a more custom look, all right? So you're not actually designing and developing. What you're doing is learning the tools of how to manage your WordPress site as a more effective way of being an entrepreneur. So that is the course that I have. We're in week number 1. We're in the 3rd day. And yep, that's it. arvin.live/WordPress-bootcamp. If you have any questions about that, you can email me at arvin@arvin.live. arvin@arvin.live. Okay? So everyone, that is it for today. I've got to get on a call in the next 3 minutes. So if you have any further questions, you know how to reach me at that email address. If you didn't catch all of this, go back and watch the replay. So all my replay viewers, if you made it to this point, I truly appreciate you guys, all right? So I'm getting out of here. God bless and have a beautiful day, everybody. Take care. See ya.